More of that conversation coming Sunday on Countdown. Ryan, quarterbacks are the lens we see any game through, particularly the Super Bowl. But in terms of Darnold's skill set, in terms of position players around him, what stands out?
I think the Seattle Seahawks are underrated with what Kenneth Walker has been able to do down the stretch run of this season, the way that he's been involved in the run game and obviously the pass on the outside. But it starts with Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then from Jackson Smith and Jigba, you move down the line. Rashid Shaheed, to me, was one of the biggest moves at the trade deadline. The way Clint Kubiak moves JSN around and allows him to take advantage of the defense. And Cooper Kupp not only coming up big in that overtime win against the Rams, but we saw the same thing last week. And then Kenneth Walker III making himself some money as he enters free agency. Yes, Sam Darnold was able to perform at the highest level in the most important moment, but we have to watch these skill players on Sunday because I believe that this offense is stacked.
Jason, the Patriots defense that will try to contain them has been on a legendary run. They've given up 26 points total in the playoffs. I get it, there's a one backup quarterback, and I get that there's some weather. 26 points in 3 games. When you look at what Vrabel's defense is doing, what jumps out?
Well, I think that they're doing a great job of making it difficult. They're blitzing, they're playing max coverage, they're showing pressure, they're dropping, showing pressure, bringing zero. They're slanting the front on first, second down to take away runs. But here we go. They did a lot of great things so far with like presenting zero, especially these empty sets, right? They show like they're going to do these zero empty pressures, then they bail out. CJ Stroud has nowhere to go with the ball. Then they show zero, and guess what? It is zero, right? They're on top of it, right? They're getting after the quarterback. I think that they've done a great job of mixing it up, and then they'll also do the typical like overload away from it. I don't really know what's going on here from a protection standpoint. This was a debacle for the Denver Broncos in this game, right?
Not great.
Benefits are going up against a backup quarterback. You know, I think the Patriots defense is the reason that they're in the Super Bowl throughout the playoffs so far, right? And the game is going to come down to how well they can hold down the Seattle Seahawks offense. Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker. If they make it a game, obviously that's what I'm hoping for.
When we talk about the Seattle defense, there's a long list of guys we mentioned before we mentioned Lawrence, right? I mean, an adult, a professional swag. How much does DeMarcus Lawrence's presence in the room and his presence on the field mean, and what do you expect from him Sunday?
He is an absolute dog, first of all. So his energy, you're forced to match it. But now he has a bunch of dogs around him, Leonard Williams and everybody else. But I'm happy for DeMarcus Lawrence, not only because he said that this was an opportunity, but because of his production and how well he's led guys. He's tenured. He understands the gravity of the moment. He's been in these situations where he's had to come up and make big play after big play when he was in Dallas. Now with the opportunity of playing for a Super Bowl and being able to lead arguably the best unit in football, I think it says a lot about who he is as a player and a person.
Is he a vocal guy in the locker room, or is he the kind of guy who, when he says something, it carries weight because he doesn't hoot and holler a whole lot?
It carries a tremendous amount of weight because you know he's willing to do it. Okay. And I've always gravitated to leaders that'll run through the brick wall first before telling you how hyped we should be about running through it. And that's the type of guy, that's the type of guy that DeMarcus Lawrence is. Look, I say this all the time, Scott. When you get to these type of games, it's players over coaching. It's players over X's and O's. It's dudes that understand in these moments, I have to be myself, but I'm also called to do a job at a very high level. And he's done that for the majority of his career. And you go into games confident, knowing that guys like that are lined up next to you.
And what Swag was just saying, playing against DeMarcus, like, that was a guy that you could feel the intensity, especially he's running games, right? Games is so much about effort and hitting it with time and whatnot. He would come through there like a freaking bank, right? He's coming there with tons of energy, and you can feel it exuding from him. And that rubs off on other guys. And New England's got some guys. I mean, Milton Williams right now is playing with a whole lot of energy as well. Far more. Like, both sides, their defensive lines right now are playing at a very high level. It's going to be a fun game to watch for sure.
Final thought?
Well, my final thought is this about DeMarcus Lawrence. I love you said production. He didn't want to come here and coach a room to a Super Bowl. He's been a part. He's a reason why this team is there. And if the Seattle Seahawks are going to win this game, one of those plays or some of those plays are going to be made by DeMarcus. It won't just be him telling people how to run through that brick wall, like you said.
Feels like two hellacious defenses are going to be on display about 40 miles down the road in this one. We want to acknowledge some coaching greatness. Super Bowl week here in San Francisco. Media night Monday, awards coming Thursday and Tuesday. Here at the Moscone Convention Center, it is the Pro Bowl games, and the NFC has got some talented pass catchers to throw it to. A couple of Dallas Cowboys right there. Pickens and Lamb, and there's Amon-Ra St. Brown. He ought to have a real good vibe with one of his quarterbacks. They've been playing together and hanging big numbers for years in Detroit. We're pleased to have five-time Pro Bowler Jared Goff in our presence, and it's got to be awesome to be back here in an area that you know so well, in the Berkeley area where he went to college, and back here in the Pro Bowl. And congrats on a great season. As a guy who has been playing in the game on Sunday, and obviously that's the goal, when you're playing in this game, what do you find is the key to making the most of what this is to be with the fellas and enjoy it?
Yeah, you know, I did it when I was really young. I did it in my second year in the league, and now I'm in my 10th year and doing it again. And I feel like when you lean into these events and, like, you know, sometimes it feels silly to do some of the things throughout the week, but when you lean into it and you get around some guys that you're not used to being around and get to see some guys from the other teams, I think that's really fun and cool, and to see different groups of teammates walking around and get to talk to them. And I get to play with CD and George Pickens today, and like seeing those guys work together, it's fun.
Jared, for a guy that plays the most important position in football, what's it like to get around guys like Dak and Jalen and have some of those conversations about what it truly is to play the position with the only sort of people that can understand it?
Yeah, I mean, those two guys are as good as it gets around the league, and Dak's a guy that I came into the league with, so we've had a relationship for some time, and getting to catch up and talk with each other and see how each other are doing, and some of the challenges and different things we all go through, able to relate with each other. Jalen the same way. It's fun, man. It really is. It's part of what makes this experience so cool.
Jared, you guys have had a lot of success in Detroit. I know this past year didn't pan out the way you wanted. New offensive coordinator. How are we feeling about Drew Petzing?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Got him on the phone a few times, and he's got great energy. He's excited about what we're going to do, and I'm excited to work with him, man. I think it's a great hire, and can't wait.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to focus on the Pro Bowl, brother. You don't get a chance to see this, but we've been in Detroit a few Monday nights.
Yeah.
Them people love you.
Rocking, huh?
They love you, dude.
Yeah.
And you guys have reinvigorated a city that had been starving for that type of football. How does it feel, you know, obviously leaving LA home and then going to Detroit and becoming a symbol of hope for that fan base and that franchise?
Man, it's been so fun to become a part of that city, and to become a like you said, hopeful part of the city and a successful part of the city, and to be able to be there during this revitalization, not only in football, but the whole city of Detroit, the Pistons, the Tigers, the Wings, like everyone's kind of growing and doing a great job, and it's so fun to be a part of that and to be the quarterback of the team, and to do it for these fans, man. They deserve it.
Yeah.
And we really, you know, every day, to be honest, every day I think about, like, how can I give them what they deserve, and how can I do a little bit more this year and each day in practice to get us in this game on Sunday and find a way to win it.
I'm going to close with that because Dak's going to visit with us, I believe, and you mentioned Dak. It's 10 years, and it's like a blink of an eye, man, right? And we think it goes on forever, but it doesn't for any of us, and whatever we do.
Yep.
How do you channel urgency, right, and not squeeze the wheel too tight? Because that can be a challenge, I would think.
No doubt, it is. I think the best way to put it, you know, I hope I can play for a long time, but I know after this year it's one less. You know, and I think Dan kind of, you know, alluded to that at the end of our year meeting, like, hey guys, like, you know, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to, and yeah, maybe we'll have a chance next year, but it's one less for a lot of you guys, and it certainly is for me. And you know, again, I hope to play a long time, but there is urgency there, and we know what we want to do, and get that trophy in our hands is that.
Do you have any regrets about the lie you told me last year in Orlando about riding the roller coaster? You told me to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. It'll be fine, Scott. You'll love it. I nearly expired on the roller coaster.
It's one of the coolest ones there.
I'm not a roller coaster guy. I hate roller coasters.
And you told me it was going to be groovy.
No.
That's what he told me.
Hold on tight.
I need a recommendation. I've never been to San Fran. Hang out. What should I do? What's the one thing I got to do on there?
Pier 39, Fisherman's Wharf. Shoot, I mean, walking around there is as good as it gets. The weather this week's been amazing.
Okay.
You want to go see the Golden Gate Bridge, you want to go to the Marin Headlands, you get a great view of that, Chrissy Field. All of that's incredible. If you can get over to Alcatraz, awesome.
I hope that he told you the truth there, because he lied to me about a roller coaster.
All those are awesome.
That's an issue that I'm sure we'll get past. Hey, congratulations on 5 Pro Bowls. All the best as you continue to build in Detroit, man. Be well.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much. Jared Goff.
Thank you.